The bottle project is a very tall mug with a collar that is put on, but it has some great impressions. So the first thing, in order to make a bottle, you have to make a rolling pin. This is an impression rolling pin. So I have a tube, much smaller, it's a paper towel tube, and my slab. And so once again, I'm going to make a straight edge. If you can get 6 inches out of here, that would be good. I can just do, so I'm going to do 5.5. Make a 5.5 mark and a 5.5 mark. Connect the dots. Roll it around. Another way is, I'm seeing where it's going to fall, so I'm going to make a line there and in the back. And make a cut. Slip and score it together. And put it together. Now you've got the base of the rolling pin. And now with your extra clay, you can then cut out different shapes. Slip and score. And place them all over. And really fill up your rolling pin with shapes. And really use the whole part, the whole piece of the canvas. You can also make shapes that aren't solid. And when you place them on, remember it's called negative space. So the space that you are not applying, you're also still creating shape in there. If I want to make, see, I'm making a circle. When I apply this on, and I imprint that into the clay, it might be a little boring just having a large shape. So what I can do is cut out the inside. And so what I'm doing is creating a shape within a shape. And hang on to that, because you can put that someplace else. But now I think that that is a much more interesting shape than just a full circle. So once you have your rolling pin done, of course it needs to get bisqued. And when it comes out, it will be like this, with shape all around. Now we're ready to make the bottle. So just like the mug, we are going to strike a line. Measure about 7 inches up. make another line, and 7 inches, make another line, and connect the dots. I'm going to reserve this part as my bottle bottom. I'm going to take my bisque rolling pin, and I can either roll this way or I can roll this way. I'm going to try this time rolling this way. And with practice you have to have even pressure so you get a nice impression. Do not go back again because you'll do a double print and you won't be happy with that. All right, now this is going to get rolled around the mug, so we have to turn it upside down. So very carefully, and we're going to roll the tube up with paper. And roll up. I'm going to make this little straight side. Roll it around the tube. Now this is a little trickier. Making sure it's going through the 2 layers at an angle. Going to slip and score. But now our problem is we have a pattern here and we don't want to show a seam. And so very carefully we're going to join and work our pattern in. And then my suggestion is to take a rubber tip tool and go back in and re-sculpt that area to make it look like it was never a seam and never a problem. So I'm going to turn into a sculptor here and turn that shape into a new shape. And this one, play with this edge. So no one will ever know that there was a seam here. These rubber tip tools are really great things to use. And I'm going to wipe it with a damp sponge, not wet at all. I've really taken out all the water, but just to soften that area. So no one will know. So, just like the mug now, we're going to slip and score the bottom. Put that down and cut it out around 1/16 of an inch larger. And here again you'll have the same problem. You don't want to smear your design. So you might have to go back in and sculpt that part. Do a little pound, then off the edge of the table so I get a nice grip. If I do it here, you'll be able to see better what I'm doing. So it's off the edge and I'm pulling up. Gently but firmly and evenly. And now I have to go back in and do a little sculpting. Soften some edges and define some others. Okay. Remember, when you pack this up for the day, always remember to take the inside out. We'll wrap it up, remember, in plastic and then put it on the board. You want this to harden just a little bit before we put on our top, what I'll call the collar. But here we have a pattern that I figured out, and that will just fit nicely to give you the height that you need and to make it into a bottle form. So